Good day, everyone. My name is Iriri from Vectral Academy, and today we'll be taking a dive into the new WordPress vulnerability that allows an attacker gain unauthorized access to your WordPress website. It allows them run several remote code execution. It allows them run SQL injection attacks on your websites. And this is a really critical vulnerability because a lot of applications, a lot of people use WordPress for their blogs, a lot of shopping websites use WordPress, and this is a vulnerability that should come with immediate patching, especially if you are running the affected versions. So let's take a dive into what the description of the vulnerability is. So the WordPress 6.9 before 6.95 and 7.0 is affected by a REST API batch endpoint root confusion issue, which combines with the author not in WP query SQL injection and could allow an attacker to perform SQL injection and achieve remote code execution. It is rated 9.8 as a base score of 9.8 and is a very critical vulnerability that anyone running WordPress should take into consideration. So of course we'll be showing you a live proof of concept on how you can actually test endpoints, especially if you are using WordPress or you know someone using WordPress. And of course, we are also security researchers. We can also find exposed or vulnerable servers that are running endpoints, test it, build a proof of concept, and then report to the respective companies. I'm sure that a lot of companies would have patched it by now, but nevertheless, let's take a more deep explanation into what the vulnerability is. The vulnerability was first discovered by Adam Quest from the Searchlight Cyber team. Kudos to Adam, by the way. And it happens when an unauthenticated request is sent to the batch endpoint, the endpoint that handles several batch requests when you are navigating a WordPress website. So it's affected versions from 6.9 and above. Anything below 6.8.5 is not affected, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't test your endpoints or update your WordPress versions. So let's just scan through how the vulnerability actually works, something technical a bit. So the REST batch endpoint, the version 1 is unauthenticated and runs several sub requests in one single call, relying on each sub request being validated and permission checked on its own, meaning that several requests that are in the batch folder, the batch endpoint of a particular WordPress website, handle several requests with handle several sub requests, and each of those sub requests has their own validation and permission check, individualistic to each other. So the search batch request function builds two parallel arrays, which is the matches array and the validation array per each sub request, then indexes both by the same offset when it's dispatching it. So the problem now lies is when one particular sub request whose path fails to pass the specific URL endpoint is now appended to one of those parallel arrays, the validation, but is not appended to the matches. So that particular array for that particular sub request then falls out of the sub request batch. Then that particular sub request that you are now asking for is now appended to another separate different sub request that does not even concern it in any way. That is actually where the root confusion comes in. Don't worry, you don't need to understand the full picture. So far you understand what it works, how it works, what you need to look out for, what you're testing for. You can easily just test it out. So the proof of concept that our this tool will be testing today, this is the raw tool for the front end checker that we built. Don't worry, I'll come back to explain this. So the two proof of concept we have is the one to the post endpoint that carries a request body, then is dispatched by the handler itself. Then the second one is the get user endpoint that we can use to get the users that are particularly um that are working on the particular website. And in fact, this is actually the main proof of concept that actually brought about the vulnerability. So let's get to it. This is the requirements, the usage, the commands we need to run. So of course, we are cybersecurity analysts. What we need to do now is we find the vulnerable endpoints, we test it, then we now report to the respective organizations. Mind you, please don't use this method I'm going to be showing you for malicious purposes. Now, for the people who are non-technical like me, we built a web application that you can use to test your WordPress website. Just paste your WordPress website in the search bar and scan. We also gave you a proper detailed explanation on the versions that are affected and how you can fix it or update to buy yourself some time to WordPress actually now releases a security advisory on this particular vulnerability. The vulnerability came out yesterday, by the way, so it's pretty much new. A lot of applications will still be running the old version. So, as an ethical hacker, this is your best time to build your portfolio, find the vulnerable versions, report to the company. Do not exploit. Do not exploit. So, for today, I'll be using Showdown to find and fetch those possible endpoints that could be running WordPress versions, and you see how it is. So I sign into my let me sign into my I think I need to use my other account. So let's sign into my Shodan and I'll use some queries to find it out. Okay. All right. So from experience, I know that most times you can use HTTP title WordPress, and that gives you a list of servers that are hosted on the internet with WordPress in the title. So we'll be starting from there. Then we would go to let's check if we can filter by version. Let me just select 443 because that's HTTPS. Then okay, let me filter by um, okay. There should be something I'm looking for here. This is what I'm looking for. Yes, exactly. So let me filter by version, then search. So while it's searching, let's fire up my tool, the backend tool, the Python script, the raw one, not the that this our checker is built on. So while that is loading, oh, my airplane mode is on. Sorry. Let me connect. Okay, refresh that. Good. Right. So Shodan has given us several versions that are currently exposed on the internet, and according to the vulnerability, we know that every version below 6.9 is not affected. Everything above 6.9 is what we are looking for. But then 7.0.2 has been fixed. So we are looking for 6.9 to 7.0.1. So let's see if we have okay, this is 8.5. I'm assuming 8.5 is not vulnerable because it's above 7 points. So let's see something between early sevens. This is 1 7 point. I can see something. Okay. This is 1 7.0. Good. So okay. This is a I mean alright, so okay. So slash why what command do we need to use? Check. We just need to check. Alright. So there's check, then the target. Let's see. So while that is scanning, let's look for more endpoints that we can use. But then there's another. So you just need to go through test one by one. It's tedious, of course, but of course, if you find something good, you are definitely sure that you just build a good relationship with that company. So, but of course, I know that I can also use HTTP components. I mean, just from experience, if you're conversant with this, you definitely know. And this should even give me more what I'm looking for. Okay. Yes. Let me see. Let's search this. Let me. Okay, just another WordPress. Perfect. Okay, now we are eating proper WordPress websites. Let me see. Low tech productions. This looks like something. This should resolve back to the original domain. Exactly. So, okay, okay. Let's find something else that we can. Let me see. Let me see. That's someone's also. I don't want to show any configuration files. So, okay, I don't an Argentine electronic. Let's check that. Alright, so let's check our checker. Okay, no WordPress marker found. Meaning, I mean, because we passed an IP address, let's pass this website and see. Same thing. Um, okay, but this time I'll be using a reset route, the direct route. Don't worry, let me show you what that means. The rest route uses the direct rest route, the actual one for sites without pretty permalinks. So just in case we don't know if the website is using a permalink, we'll be trying both methods with and without it. So let's try rest route. And while we wait, let's find more exposed. So you can see that these are actual WordPress websites, but these are not really organization ones. These are just basic websites. I'm trying to look for something. There's an actual company that we can report to. Build our okay, good. Now you can start seeing staff portal. Mm, you can see staff portal here. This is not loading. I don't think I want to finger all these ones. I mean, let's check our checker. Ah, good. You found the WordPress marker, which we used to identify that is actually a WordPress website. But then you can see it's not in the WP range, meaning that indie game low tech prod has actually updated their server. Kudos to them. Be like low tech guys. Root confusion packer not detected. Cool. Let's take a more deep filtering into this and see. Let's let me do some deep filtering and okay, let me go to countries like UK, United Kingdom. Then I want to filter by port 443, meaning the website is using an SSL certificate. Then let me just see something that home C5 capital good. This could be a company. Okay, let's resort it back to the IP address. Okay, good. An investment firm. Now this is more like it. Let's see, do we have a contact information where we can contact them just in case if we find anything? I mean, this is how I'm showing you how you can literally land a job from any company. Okay, we have inquiries, meaning we can even write it here. Okay, good. Let's test and see if they're vulnerable. Okay. Rest. Okay, so let's find one more. Let's find one more. Let's find one more. South Studio. Hmm. Okay. Let's resolve it back. Okay. Hmm. Something different. WordPress marker found. WP. Okay. Okay. Still not in the WordPress range. Is below 6.9. Like we said, not affected. So it returned the 401. Either it has been patched or it's disabled. All right. So let's just try one more. Let's try one more. And then we'll call it a day. Call it a day. But I mean, this is exactly how you can test WordPress endpoints on your authorized target, or if you're if you're an independent researcher, or you can reach out to the company. Okay, good. It was not detected here, of course. Good. I mean, I like that. I like that a lot of companies have actually patched this so far. So, guys, this is exactly how you can test it. Don't forget, if you're not as technical as this, you don't need to start pulling up your terminal or anything. Just visit wp-to checker vector, paste your links here, and search and get your results. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Follow Vectral Academy, follow us, join our Telegram channels, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Twitter, and remember to sign up for our threat intelligence bootcamp. It's just a 2-week bootcamp just to familiarize and get to know the cybersecurity community. So see you next time.